Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Before I actually get into today's video, which is going to be a very chatty video, just chatting about a few topics that have been on my mind lately while I arrange some flowers. The first announcement is my online store, The Patch in Bloom, is now back up and running. I am selling a few things online, mainly just some dried flowers at the moment and a few other botanical style gifts if that is something that you're interested in. I'm going to be slowly adding more things up onto the website, and I always have a discount code for those of you who watch YouTube, and I have that listed in the description box if you're interested. The second announcement is that I am actually going to be running some monthly chats over on my Patreon, which I've been meaning to do for so long, to create a little bit more of a small community over there, where we're going to be having a call once a month where we can just chat about gardening. I can answer some gardening questions, or we can all help each other out with gardening questions and just create a really small intentional community over there. So if you want to come and hang out with us, it's a really small, safe community. I will leave some information about that in the description box as well. But yeah, that was my two announcements that I wanted to share. Let's get into the video. Make sure to grab a cup of tea or coffee, and definitely a snack for this one because it's just a very chatty video. But I hope you enjoy. We will be back to loads more garden vlogs and more garden content very shortly. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I am sitting inside today. Rocky's joining us. I have a cup of tea and I have a fresh vase here that I thought I would just arrange some flowers and have a little bit of a catch-up chat with you. Just have a chat about how things are going, what's happening in the garden, and yeah, just do kind of like a general catch-up chat while I arrange some flowers. I've been finding it pretty difficult to film videos lately. But I still have a lot of things that I want to share. So I thought I would just kind of break the garden vlogs up with a more chatty video, kind of going to be a little bit podcast style, which I would love to get back into filming the Peas and Quiet podcast very shortly. But for now, I am just going to be sitting with a cup of tea and playing with some flowers while I chat about a few things. I have some flowers that I picked the other day here, and a lot more like greens and foliage down here that I'm going to start with to start this arrangement. I also just need to get a bucket for compost. Right, compost bucket acquired. And yeah, I thought there's a few things that I asked on Instagram the other day if you had any things that you'd like me to chat about and talk about, and a few people sent in some recommendations of things to chat about. So I am going to kind of just be chatting about the cost of living crisis at the moment, just a little bit of a moving update, and also a lot of motherhood questions. So I'm going to break this video up into those kinds of sections. If you are new here, my name is Robin and I live here on the south coast of New South Wales, Australia, with my partner, our two cats, and our now 5-month-old baby boy. I really don't know how the time has gone so quickly, but he is 5 months old now, and that is my primary job right now, is to be a mum. So gardening has definitely taken a back seat in this season, which is perfectly understandable, really. I am going to try and talk a little bit during this, but I'm not great at doing two things at once. So I'll show you at the end what this looks like, but I'm basically starting right now with a lot of this, which is Westringia. This is called coastal rosemary. It's not actually edible, but it looks like rosemary, and it is native to around my area. It's one of my favorite plants. I love how quick it grows. You can hedge it up really nicely. You can like shape it into different shapes that you want. And yeah, it's just all round a really, really great plant. Probably one of my favorites to use in arrangements as well, because it lasts for so long. And it also kind of has like spikes that come out on the stems, so it makes it really easy to like have it as a base and then fit flowers in, so it kind of acts as a little bit more of a cage for flowers. But yeah, flower farming at the moment has definitely also taken a back seat, and I'm slowly getting back into it because I have realized, particularly in the last few weeks, that it is super important for my mental health, really. Yeah, long story short, we are planning on moving as soon as we can, basically. We're actually not very happy where we live right now, and I'm going to preface this conversation with that I know I'm in a very privileged position, and I acknowledge that and take that for all of my videos of anything that I talk about. This is not me complaining as such about my situation. I'm just telling you what's happening in our lives. But yeah, we are planning on moving, and we have a block of land in Tasmania actually that we've purchased, and we would like to build there. We have been getting knocked back a little bit and messed around with some banks just because there's been so many price increases lately, which has knocked us out of the price bracket that we were originally approved for. We really want to build just a small home on our land, like 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom would be amazing. And because we're on just the one income at the moment with Scott's income, he works full time from home. Yeah, it's been tricky because everything is just getting so expensive, and we're not struggling, but we're having to really up the budgeting situation that we are in right now. And I thought I could just touch a little bit on frugal living and what we're doing at the moment to kind of bring cost of living down a little bit, which only a little bit because it's crazy at the moment. And I know a lot of other people are in the same boat right now and are kind of minimizing the amount of money they're putting into things like their hobbies, like gardening. However, we're trying to still grow as much food as we can, and yeah, it's been tricky. It's been tricky with a baby to grow food. Things that we are growing at the moment to cut our grocery list down. We are growing a lot of things that add flavor. So firstly, like herbs, and we grow a lot of spring onions. That kind of adds a lot of flavor to dishes. We're also planning on planting a lot more potatoes and higher calorie crops like beans, peas, legumes, soybeans, that kind of thing. But I suppose a lot of my time also is going into baking a lot of our own bread and cooking from scratch. So I would love to do some more videos on cooking at some point because I really do love to cook. We have a very small kitchen though, so that makes it difficult to both film and cook large amounts of food. But if that's something you're interested in, let me know. I'm just adding some pink show dahlias in here. This is just going to be my focal flowers for this bouquet, and maybe some of these, which I can't remember what dahlia these are, but they are beautiful, so maybe add some of those in. But yeah, that's the main thing we're doing right now, is just trying to like cook a lot from scratch and get through each week with groceries, doing pantry challenges and things like that to use up things that we have in the pantry. We have also been, more so me, I have been struggling a little bit with mental health, and we're not exactly in the best living situation in terms of regulating our nervous system. I'll say that. We have very loud neighbours, which can make things a little difficult. And that has been something else that has been really preventing me from making videos. And I'm honestly craving making videos again that are a little bit more like cinematic and playing with sounds. Like, I have always loved videography and gardening. It's my 2 hobbies I love. I love filming and I love gardening, and I love kind of like that ASMR style gardening where I incorporate lots of different sounds and overlay like bird sounds and nature sounds. And unfortunately I haven't been able to do that for the past few months, not because of having a baby or anything, but just because of my living situation and neighbours and people in the area. So filming has been quite difficult for me, and that's because that's my 2 hobbies. Unfortunately, yeah, my mental health wasn't and hasn't been doing amazing because of that, which is another reason why we are really looking to leave as soon as we can, so that we can start living a little bit more of our dream, really. I know a lot of other people are also in similar situations like that, and a big part of it actually took me a while to sit down and like try and film a video like this where I'm just talking, because I thought like I was just going to be complaining and it not be relatable at all. But I know a lot of people are also in that position where they're waiting for something, or they're not in their happy place, that they're having to work super hard to get to somewhere. And that's also where Scott and I are at the moment. We're definitely in limbo in a lot of aspects of our life. And yeah, that's been kind of tricky lately to sit with those feelings. If frugal living and gardening on a budget is something that you're interested in, I have done a whole podcast on this, and I'll link that episodes down below where I've chatted about this before, because it's something that I'll probably want to be making some more content on in the future, because it's very relevant to my life right now, and I know a lot of other people as well. It is also quite relevant, so let me know if you would like some more content around that. I feel like I am just now trying to balance a little bit more gardening and flower farming and being a mum, and I'm hoping that now that's happened that I can start to do a little bit more content around flower farming as well. With the cooler season coming in, we're reducing the flower farm quite a lot, and I'm going to do like a little bit of a walkthrough at some point and show you what the plan is for that, because I'm going to be shutting down basically most of the flower farm, unfortunately, but that's going to happen anyway as we move and begin a different venture down in Tasmania. But I am very excited with the cooler weather to get back into flower farming. We're just going to be doing it on a really small scale. It was already very small scale. I've just had an order that arrived the other day from Garden Express with some ranunculus and some other flowers that I'm going to be growing, and mainly I'm just going to be growing them for myself and just doing maybe some special orders here and there. But it'll be interesting flower farming for the last time here, because it's going to be on a much smaller scale than previous years. This is looking really cute. This is kind of the front of this arrangement so far. I think I'm going to leave it maybe there for the bulk of the flowers and just add in a few spikes and maybe some cosmos as well. For the spikes, I'm going to be using some leptospermum, this one here, and also some of these spiky acacias, which I love. The other day I did plant out some straw flowers, which was nice, so I'm going to be growing just a few more of those for my Christmas ornaments that I usually do each year. And what else? I planted and I've sown my stock seeds, so they've all started popping up and I'm going to be planting those out. But other than that, I haven't really done much with the flower farm, and that is probably the plan going forward for that is just going to be doing the bare minimum for that as we put more time into planning our next piece of land. And I haven't shared too much on our land, although I have shared the process of buying on Patreon if you are interested in learning a little bit more about our experience buying some land. But we have a few acres that we are planning on kind of doing something similar to what we have here, a small scale flower farm and a permaculture venture. I don't know whether that's going to be growing, I don't know whether that's going to be more like community focused, CSA style, or not. I'm not sure yet, but that is the plan once we can start to get some tunnels in on the land, because it is a very cold climate where we are going to be living. So yeah, I suppose that is what has been saving my mental health, living in a place that I'm not too happy with at the moment. The future, hopefully we're going to be able to sort out some kind of house build, and I can look forward to that, because it's been pretty depressing actually. And this isn't related to like mum life at all. I've actually been doing a lot better with adjusting to motherhood, and I thought I could just chat a little bit about that now for those who are interested. I had a few people ask on Instagram just some questions, mainly I think there was like 3 questions of how are you really doing, which I feel like it's a very common question that mums want to know, and I'm doing a lot better is the truthful answer. I really did struggle quite a lot postpartum. I was diagnosed with a little bit of postpartum depression, and that was very, very tricky to navigate that. I've done a few updates on Patreon. I did a 6-week update and a 3-month update if you're interested in how postpartum, how the journey has been for me. But I honestly, each week it gets better and better for me. Not quite easier, just different. I feel like there's different challenges. Right now we are dealing with Grayson's getting his bottom teeth. So I think the other night I was up like 6 or 7 times every hour. So that's quite challenging. The sleep deprivation has come back like it was in the newborn days. I don't want to be too negative, and I mean, this is a gardening channel first and foremost, but I do like to do these videos just to sit down and have a bit of a catch-up chat every now and again. Yeah, because everybody's journey is different with motherhood and postpartum. Mine was definitely quite challenging the first 8 weeks, and I'm 5 months postpartum now, and physically I'm feeling pretty back to normal. That happened around like maybe the 8-12 week mark. Recovery was pretty good, but truthfully, being a mum is like the best part of my day at the moment, and it's just other surrounding factors that make life challenging at the moment, like not being able to go in the garden without feeling very exposed and unsafe, I suppose. The first few weeks after giving birth, I truly did feel like I went through kind of like a stage of mourning my old life, which I know a lot of people will also feel that. And like I said, I was also diagnosed with postpartum depression, so that was playing into that a little bit. But what helped me was definitely having a good therapist. I've had a really great therapist for years now, and she helped to just put a lot of things into perspective for me. And a lot of the time, just having your feelings validated and being able to talk through how you're actually feeling is super important. Usually, to manage my mental health, I would do things like go in the garden or bake some food, or just go on a walk, be in nature, be outside. And I wasn't able to do that because I had to take care of a little human. And so that was really tricky to manage self-care for me, and to have a little bit of self-compassion, I suppose. I'm really packing this in with lots of flowers. I'm just going to do a few cosmos. Honestly, I don't even know if it needs the cosmos. Maybe I'll take it out. I kind of like it without it. I think I might just leave it like that, maybe play around with it a little bit. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's pop that there and finish this chat. But yeah, having just a baby, and then, you know, you're not really around a lot of adults, or at least I wasn't. I didn't really have a lot of family around, and chatting to Scott and having, you know, your feelings validated with your partner sometimes also just doesn't really cut it, because they're also exhausted and tired. So a therapist has been really helpful for me. But you really are going through a whole like death of your old life and a rebirth of something new that you really don't know what it is. And I still don't really know what the future is going to look like, what videos I'm going to be able to make, the capacity for working that I'm going to be able to do. I have no idea. It truly is like a rebirth of a new person. Yeah, I just have no idea yet what that's going to look like, and I think that's pretty normal, and will probably take like at least 12 months to figure out what my new life is going to look like. But I do really think it's important to not expect, but just sit with that feeling of mourning your old life and accepting the newness and new things that are changing and happening when a baby comes along, and just having a few people or one person to talk to about how you feel, and just letting time kind of let things pan out. Because like I said before, when I answered the question of how am I really doing, a lot better is what I usually say, and that's just been time that has definitely healed that initial shock of becoming a mum and having a small human that depends on me. That just takes a lot of time to get used to that. So that's that kind of question. Someone also asked what has been the best and what has been the hardest and of postpartum and having a baby, and I'll start with the hard things. I won't go into detail of all of them, and I do have some notes down here that I'm looking at because I'm just going to forget everything when if I did this without notes. The hardest things that I have experienced, definitely breastfeeding. That was very hard at the start. We've got the hang of it now, but it took a while just to find how to be comfortable, how to bring up my supply, and like a lot of things in motherhood, it just takes a lot of time and practice to get used to it. And yeah, that was definitely quite difficult for us at the start. Getting outside in the early days by myself was also really hard, and just sacrificing everything some days. Some days you are incredibly tired, baby is incredibly cranky, and just growth in general for a little one can be very overstimulating. So some days are just really hard, and you might have a few set things that you want to get done in that day. Like I, in the beginning, had these ideas of, okay, well, I'll fit in an hour of gardening here and then an hour of editing, and then I'll have the video up on Sunday, and then the day just doesn't pan out at all like that, and you need to drop all of your plans and sacrifice everything for your baby, and that's just how it is. And that was quite hard for me to initially deal with because, like I said, gardening was such an important part of my life and where I sourced my happiness from, and where I could work through things and just like be myself outside in the garden. But it is slowly sitting with me better and better each day to sacrifice things. Being a parent is one of the biggest sacrifices you can do in your life if that's something that you choose to do. But also in my experience has been really, really rewarding. So, but yeah, it was a tricky one to deal with at the start. But slowly I'm learning how to actually do things with having a baby around, and that has been just the shift in my mental health when I can tell myself that I can actually do things with Grayson around. Like I can do a bit of editing, I can do a bit of like flower arranging or out in the flower farm or gardening or sowing seeds when he's around has been really transformative for me and has definitely helped my mental health a lot, rather than just thinking I need to be completely present with him all the time, all wake windows, and then just sitting watching him while he's asleep. Right now Scott's watching him, so I can have a little bit of time, but getting things done when he's awake has really changed my mental health and made things made the days a lot happier for me. And in terms of all the great things, there are so many, and majority of them are not captured on camera or video. They're just kind of like the small little day-to-day things, or just experiencing a baby and a child, experiencing them experience life. That has probably been the thing that has been the most wonderful for me, and I swear I felt things that I've never felt before when I see him actually take in certain things. Like we were out on a walk the other day and he was looking at a tree, and I could see him look at the base of the tree and then all the way up to the very top and like take it in and just start like smiling and laughing. And he was just so happy that he could kind of comprehend this thing and look at it and be amused by it. And that was truly amazing to see that happen, and to see his emotions come out with actually experiencing life and experiencing things around us and engaged in the activities that we want to do, going out in nature. That's probably been the best thing, the greatest thing about being a parent so far, and I cannot wait to bring him out in the garden and experience more of that as well. And then other things that are just amazing, every time he laughs and smiles is just the best. It is just the best when he is happy. And also just seeing a personality come out, a personality grow is really cool to see that. He also interacts with the cats a lot now. He loves just staring at them. He'll be like smiling and laughing with us, and then a cat will walk past and he'll just stop what he's doing and just mouth open staring at the cat, and then just start smiling at them. That's been really nice. The cats have been really, really great. They've been inquisitive. Annie is quite protective, which I thought would be the case. Every time he kind of cries, she will come in and see what's going on. She's very protective of us, so yeah, that's been really nice. But they don't really bother him, and he doesn't bother them unless, you know, a tail gets a little bit too close. But the cats have been amazing, no swipes or anything like that. So that's been really nice to see that little interaction happening. And also just connecting with other mums has been really nice. I have a really great small group of friends that I catch up with regularly, and that's been really nice to connect with other mums. I feel like before I found it really difficult to have that bond with a lot of people who already had kids and I didn't, and now I feel like those friendships have definitely grown a lot, which has also been really nice. I got another question about what our days look like right now, and our days at the moment are I try and do a bit of a slow morning. We start to get up around it's about 6 or 7 o'clock at the moment that we get up and have a slow morning, make breakfast and do some playtime, and then either Grayson will have a little bit of a nap or we will go out for a walk and he'll have like a little car nap along the way. I have been aiming to try and get outside every day, and that's also been really important for my mental health, where being in the garden has been a bit tricky. I've been going to the national park every day that we have around us. We have an annual pass, which has been the best investment, and we will go to all of the different car parks there, have a car nap, and I'll read my book or just go on my phone, have a little bit of chill time. And we will go on walks around there, either in the pram or the carrier. So it's been a lot of nature walks, which has been great. And now he's getting to the time or the point where he's a little bit more happy to kind of sit with me, and we can go on little picnics. So we've started to do that. And I think we'll just do that more and more when the weather gets a little bit cooler, which I'm very, very excited for. And then we also have like a nature bush school playgroup that we go to, which is really amazing to connect with other mums and other parents and see kids flourish in a bit more of like a natural environment. And then I also just try and romanticize and appreciate the small things on a day-to-day, whether it's like the other night I was making some pizza dough and I was trying to just really enjoy that process, brought Grayson in to like punch down the dough and start feeling that and to see what I'm doing in the kitchen. So that is something that I also try and do every day, as well as once every few days I try and do at least one thing for the business. So whether it is filming a YouTube video or editing or harvesting some flowers or drying some flowers or planting or sowing seeds, I try and just do one thing just to keep the business running in the back end before I can pick back up and make more videos and kind of grow this channel a little bit more. I try and just do one thing every few days and not put too much pressure on myself, which is again difficult for me, but yeah, that's kind of what our days are looking like at the moment. And usually I do that in nap times because it's just sometimes I just need to focus on one thing, unless it's things that I can have him in the carrier for. But yeah, usually nap time is when I do things like this. I also got some questions about plants in the garden and in my yard and around me, and different native plants and bush plants that I am really interested in. And I am going to do a separate video on like an autumnal video talking about some other plants. I'd like to go on a bushwalk and take you along with that, maybe try and ID some plants or some birds or just something like that would be really fun, because this video is getting a little bit long, but I would like to delve back into nature connection a little bit more. Honestly, I do feel like my connection to nature, I've lost that at the moment, and I want to build that back up and do a video on connecting to nature again and how to do that, because I've really lost that, and that's something that I have sacrificed with motherhood. I don't feel connected to my area at the moment. I don't know like what flowers are blooming. I haven't really been doing any nature reading or nature observations of just what's happening in terms of the seasonal change, so I would really like to do a video on that and talk a little bit more about plants and things like that in that video, so that will be coming very shortly. I think that is about it for this video of things that I wanted to include. My cat is being really naughty right now, so I'm gonna have to go and make sure that he doesn't rip up all of my stickers of business. Stop it. But thank you for joining me for this little catch-up chat. I know it was just a little bit random, and for those of you who have made it this far, I suppose this is a video for you. It's not for everyone. It's not one for the algorithm or whatever, but it's just I wanted to sit down and just do a little bit of a catch-up and let you know what life is like at the moment. I would love to know what's happening in your garden right now. Please let me know. I'm going to go enjoy this nice arrangement that I put together. Might pop that upstairs somewhere. Grayson loves looking at flowers, so yeah, I'll make sure that he can have a little bit of a look, and he likes to just touch all of the flowers and play with them, and he likes to feel how soft some of the flowers are, so I'll make sure that he can have a look at those. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me for this little chat. Hopefully I can get back into podcasting soon, so this will be more of like a podcast style that I can do regularly over on the Peace and Quiet podcast channel. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and until my next one, happy gardening everyone.